Guess it's time to go in. I got a little signal from the little birdies, the Devic King, the matter of fact, bro. Moss agate, some crystal to work with for dealing with the Devic Kingdom. But peace. Happy now. Now it's vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Right now, I want to speak on some Kundalini energy. Just right quick, I kind of, because we're doing live videos, it's kind of like prepared to, talk on the subject this occasion. Though a lot of people not ready to start off. But we're also going to do a live tarot read, my first little live tarot reading, which I'm probably do a simple one. But I want to start doing my feng shui readings soon. But I'll probably do a simple 3 card, and it'll correspond with the energies we're going to be dealing with from now to the end of December. So from now going into January. So it's a little simple, nothing too major. Blessings, shout out to y'all. Jupiter Wisdom, blessings, Jazzy Bard, uh, blessings, Mr. West. Yeah, the tarot cards, matter of fact, a great way to learn, like the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life, or just the Tree of Life, in essence, and dealing with, the Hebrew letters and the astrology. Like it corresponds with so much, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like a learning tool as much as it's a divination system. But right now, matter of fact, I'm dealing with a little ascension symptom right now. I kind of got like this little pressure in my skull, in my cranium right now. I'm kind of dealing with. But as above, so below. As Earth Kundalini rises, certain cells, which cells as above, so below. This in essence would be like DNA or like the people. You know what I'm saying? If because if the Earth is the body, then again the cells are us, you know what I'm saying? And we're like the immune system of the body as well. Uh, as Earth Kundalini rises, certain cells in the body Kundalini rises as well, and right now I'm just getting a nudge to, speak on the Kundalini energy and that we may be feeling a collective Kundalini coming, like around this time, continually going into the 2019 energy area because you know Earth has a Kundalini and has chakras, and its Kundalini is raising. You know what I'm saying? Has been raising, but it's getting to a place of where it's being more and more felt, by the rest of us. And again, so just as the meridians, on the planet, the meridians are basically like nadis, and the ley lines are like chakras, you know. So basically, just as the meridians, nadis, and chakras are cleansed of blockages in our body, we serve as the clearing agent for Earth's body, you know, like dealing with the ley lines of this body, you know what I'm saying? So basically ridding the ley lines of parasites, aka the government, or the governmental, govern meaning steer, like the government is trying to steer our plasma body, by governing your mental, all is mind. So if they govern your mental, they govern, your plasma body like a parasite, because you're no longer governing yourself if you're letting some external energy, govern you. So we are serving as, that Kundalini energy in our particular areas, basically like a clearing agent. And just to also get into other aspects and symptoms of the Kundalini awakening, uh, you may dream of a goddess or a snake, right before, the Kundalini rising. You may, matter of fact, I think of Dr. Shout to Dr. Aleem El Bay. He spoke on how he had a dream about sitting with a woman, and they were like at an airport. And matter of fact, and before I even get into that, snakes on the plane, whether those people who made it did it purposely. But I think about, again, I made that video about snakes on the plane, but snakes, Kundalini snakes are, Kundalini serpents on the higher plane of existence rising up, you know, But Alim El Bay talked about having this dream where he was sitting at an airport and the woman who he was sitting by, wasn't talking or nothing. He was kind of wondering like, what's your name, this and that. And I'm paraphrasing, but and he said she touched him on the shoulder, and like all of a sudden, he had this blissful, sexual vibe, and then woke up, and it actually was like a wet dream, for those familiar, more so with the males, whenever we ejaculate in our dreams, it's called a wet dream. I done had, situations dealing with the Oshun energy, and the Kundalini with wet dreams. But changes in the nervous system be felt very strongly, neurological conditions, almost making you feel like you got this overly, anxious vibe, or just seeming like your nervous system is kind of, in disarray. Matter of fact, and before getting into this, Kundalini awakening, different from third eye opening and crown chakra opening in the sense of like Kundalini is like a full body purging, because that's what it is too. It's almost like a purge. And in essence, sometimes you have to be aware that the Kundalini experience can be very overwhelming, and if you're not familiar with that, then you could go to being negative or like thinking like something going wrong with you, when it's actually you're just being purged, and that you just have to be resilient and stay strong and realize, oh, I'm just going through a stage in this growth. You know what I'm saying? Like made me think about how when Dr. Sebi talked about when he cleansed himself for the first time, as all those things were coming out of his body, like he went blind for like I don't know, like maybe a couple of days or so. But as the all that that dirt, lower vibrational muck and all that coming out of his body, he could feel it coming out of his body, and again, that's where the blindness came from. But he said in that moment, though, it's like, but I felt the energy of source, and I knew that, everything was going to be straight. So, that's something to keep in mind dealing with Kundalini energy. Physical ailments may be aches, muscle spasms, energy rushes in the body, muscle twitching, intense heat, or cold flashes. You'll kind of just feel like certain little vibrations in the body. Also dealing with the Kundalini psychosis, it's also having this it's kind of like an imbalance of masculine energy. Sometimes the yang energy could oversurge and rush to the brain and get stuck there. And matter of fact, speaking about that, that's why the microcosmic orbit and breathing is so important. The regular, pranic breathing, but then also the alternating nostril breath as well. Where, hold one nostril, breathe in, and breathe out the other nostril. Then inhale through that one you just exhale through. Then that balance the positive and negative energy within the body. The masculine and feminine energy. Blessings, y'all. See y'all rolling in. Peace, peace. Celtic Witch, Justine Starks, blessings. Regina Mosley, Jessica Singh, blessings. Next series of all the other round. All right. But matter of fact, yes, blessings to y'all. And we will, again, I'm doing the Kundalini energies. I'm gonna get into the Q&A, and then we'll vibe with the tarot, the reading as well. But you may find that again, past life traumas and memories may come to the surface because of the intense flow of energy moving out blockages. Again, I talk about when you cooking in a pot, are you cooking in general, are you detoxifying or whatever, whatever it is has to come out you, but it has to come up. So say for instance, like whatever little dirt and little, energies that are hindering is deep hitting somewhere inside of us. so they have to come out to the light. So the reason why, like, I spoke of that, like sometimes when you're working with obsidian, you'll have like these little thoughts that may seem negative, but it's really like purging out a certain energy within you and bringing it to the forefront, you know, in essence, allowing for you to see it too, to see what was, what has been plaguing you, you know what I'm saying, as well. So, and back to the Kundalini psychosis. Again, especially without grounding, I think too is important to make sure you're grounding uh, if you feel like you may be experiencing these symptoms. And then right now, in general, we're going through a lot of overwhelming energies. We got this Cancer full moon coming that's gonna purge the hell out of our emotions. So being grounded is key, and not trying to be overly active. So basically, again, Kundalini is psychosis when the abundance of heat or hot masculine yang energy rushes up to the brain and gets stuck there. It has intense heat and pressure in the head. Damn, you see, and look, I'm answering some of my own questions. Starting off, because again, even for those of us who have awakened our Kundalini energy, I feel like almost like a reactivation, for those of us who already awaken our Kundalini, and or awake for the first time for those who haven't had one at all. But again, intense heat or pressure in the head or heart area, visually and auditory hallucinations, basically like your clear abilities. You might be feeling you're seeing stuff or hearing things that's not really, physically there in essence. Uh, Obsessive thinking, constantly being in thoughts, and insomnia, not wanting to go to sleep. And these symptoms can persist for days or weeks or even longer. You know what I'm saying? And what I got about it is, it lasts as long as, as long, like the longer, how can I say, the more you ground and make sure you're taking your time with it, and really assessing what's going on with you, the quicker it could, move out. But the more you are confused and not knowing what's going on and not knowing what necessarily to do, the longer the symptoms may persist, because in essence it's going to persist longer because you're not getting, what to do to actually like calm the energy down in essence. And again, this is why the microcosmic orbit, pranic breathing, or cryo breathing is so important to our growth. And I got plenty of videos speaking on pranic breathing, or like in my meditation videos, I speak on, pranic breathing, that yogic breath, in the nose, out through the nose, and when you pulling the breath in, you're bringing it down to the stomach area. The stomach is going outward when you're inhaling. And then when you're exhaling, the stomach is going inward, and the air is going not necessarily poking your chest out to the higher of the lungs, but more into the diaphragm area. And also, too, provoking, if you're, say for instance, wanting to stimulate and activate, the Kundalini energy a little more, like rapid breathing could help as well. I talked about a rapid breathing exercise where you and then that, in which it could be, it could be like, just back and forth, probably like 5 breaths. And then on that last one, you take that muscle that we use to stop our urination, like you pull up on that muscle after that last breath, and that will stimulate the Kundalini. You'll probably feel a little tingling in the base of your spine. Matter of fact, blood pressure changes, higher blood pressure, and again, sleep deprivation. But yeah, Kundalini is a more overwhelming energy compared to, matter of fact, back comparing it to a third eye crown chakra awakening. It's more overwhelming, and it has more of a sexual connection too. It has because again, that Kundalini energy, is You know, you think about the forbidden fruit, biting from their fruit, you know what I'm saying? In the midst of the garden, you know, and we got all, you know, our nervous system are like branches, you know what I'm saying? So our body has different little gardens, you know, in it. You know, when we got, you know, gardens in this area and we got gardens in the lower realms of, you know, the universe. You know, and you could bite the fruit from that area as well. But again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's more so of you know, Christianity just, you know, doing their own little thing about it. But also you may experience natural body locks as well. But you know, that again, that's that difference between that and the you know, third eye crown chakra energy. Also, you'll feel some level of soul purification, realizing, feeling the connection to all. You could be compared to the feeling of the crown chakra opening. You know what I'm saying? When you open that crown, you know, you kind of get that vibe of feeling, you know, your connection to all that is. And due to your unique vibrational signature, this experience will vary between people. You know, so again, and that's always what I grow. You know, it always kind of varies in that sense. Back to me after the treatment I had. And I'm gonna get to y'all. See some of y'all got some questions, stuff like that. I'm gonna get to that. But yeah, so soul purification. And also slowing the aging process as well. You know, with the Kundalini awakening. And matter of fact, like it may come to you through like I felt like after my Kundalini awakening, like people were telling me, like, "Oh man, you look so much younger. Like you look, you know." And I'm like, you know, I wasn't doing anything to warrant people telling me about how young I look or how, you know what I'm saying. So I just, you know, in hindsight, you know, spirit let me know, like, you know, that kind of came from, you know, spirit trying to let me know in more than one way that, you know, I done had this activation. Well, I just started with Tarot Sahara. You know who it is. You know, I just you know, just started with dealing with it. So again, back to the slower aging process, you know, and also rapid healing. You know, I joke about, you know, being able to, you know, like drink a lot of coffee or eat unhealthy things, but then it doesn't throw me, you know, my growth, you know, completely because of the fact, you know, that rapid healing. You know, as quick as the acidic nature of some foods may be harmful, you know, my body is rapidly healing, you know, before it gets, you know, to a place of being, you know, very harmful. And plus, I back off of it before, you know, it gets too harmful. But, you know, it definitely has that rapid healing where also said to promote more melatonin as well. So I'm you know, I'm feeling the vibe of that, you know, like after that initial awakening, you know, you'll get to a vibe where, you know, you know, the insomnia calm down and all this intense nature of the Kundalini awakening will calm down, and you'll get to a place of, you know, in essence, being able to work with that Kundalini energy instead of being overwhelmed by the process of, you know, going through the awakening. Also, you'll get an increase in IQ intelligence. You know, you just feel like your memory and just a lot of things popping off quick. You know, because matter of fact, neurons are changed and able to harness high vibrational messages from higher self more adequately. You know, so the motor skill and concentration will elevate, enhancement of extrasensory perception and psychic abilities. You know, I think about a video I did, matter of fact, on what it was, something spiritual awakening or something Kundalini awakening. I spoke on like, you know, being able to hear somebody else, like I'd be in my apartment, I could hear the people in the next apartment TV being on, and not the noise from it, but the actual energy from it, you know, being sensitive on that level. And also spiritually enhance sexual energy, you know, a strong connection sexually, you know, and like dealing with sex, like after that Kundalini awakening, you'll have more of that sensual vibe with that blissful vibe. Like you ever been dealing with sex on a level where like it's no longer you and the person. It's like just one. You know what I'm saying? In that connection. Whenever you're having sex, you know. It's like you could lose yourself in it, in a good way, you know what I'm saying? Like it's more of that connection and a strong feeling of oneness, with that sexual interaction. And me personally on my growth, had the Kundalini awakening, but it was more so of a subconscious programming that kind of what gives me my sexual hindrances in essence is a subconscious programming that was plaguing me. That I'm honestly have worked out. Is just kind of just taking a step daily, working on it. But that's basically it. Now a good good energies to slide, are good crystals to work to stabilize the energy of the Kundalini, and so it won't be too overwhelming. The Shiva Lingam is like a little egg-looking, and I say crystal, but it's like it look like a little stone. And as a matter of fact, I got a video on Shiva Lingam too. I should have a video on it, but it's basically like the phallus of Shiva in essence. But it also represents a yoni as well. But again, that sexual, masculine, Shiva Shakti energy. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, the Kundalini is sexual, feminine energy, our primal Shakti energy. You know that that rises up, and it has that Ida and Pingala energy. Also the feminine, masculine energy. So as a whole, just like how we have masculine and feminine energies on this plane of existence, but the feminine energy is kind of like the more primordial energy. Even though they're both equally, equal in connection in essence. It's still like that feminine energy for lack of better words and the 3D word usage. It's the eldest essence of source. But again, Shiva Lingam, red jasper, and serpentine. It's great crystals to work with. Making sure you're grounding. If you're feeling these symptoms, I feel like you're going through this Kundalini awakening. Making sure you're grounded. Taking things a little bit slower. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be overly active. Be aware to not be fearful. Recognizing that you are going through a spiritual transformation that's going to help you. Like I said earlier, when we know of these situations, it's less panic if I know that, I'm going through the dark night of the soul. You almost could just kick your feet up. And even though you're going through shit, it's like, still sip out your little straw with the little umbrella in it and know like, well, fuck, even though this shit hectic, I know it'll get greater later, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a better situation coming out of that. That's basically it. So basically, too, Kundalini activation is also correlated to DNA activation as well. Like that rising up, Jacob climbing up the ladder, going into the land of Pineal and seeing the face of God. Rising up that ladder, that Kundalini rising up or activating that DNA strand. Bless. All right. Let's see what y'all talking about. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a little bit, just checking out what y'all got so far, and then I'm gonna deal with the tarot cards. Because the whole time I think an interest changed and my soul could no longer stay around old relationships. So I cut them out and felt bad, but now they naturally want a reason. What can I don't know, don't really get the question. I had to come back to it. Harness our control. Matter of fact, blessings, Paloma, Gomes, blessings. But this is a general reading. I'm not doing a personal reading because something tell me, I just me personally, I just started with tarot cards, and I try not to be too much of a perfectionist, but I do want to know. Like, I don't like to do shit and feel like I don't know the fuck I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that irks the fuck out of me, and I like to curse. I have to curse to get out how much it irks me to do something and not know. Like, matter of fact, that's part of that Capricorn energy. Like, not liking to be embarrassed, like, or embarrassing yourself. But matter of fact, and me talking that out, I just caught that. My high self just told me that's that emotional, that Cancer full moon coming out of it. Like, emotions. This is how I feel about this. But in matter of fact, I'm gonna do this. It's a general reading. For the energies dealing with the rest of December, and with this, I do know this much. It may resonate with some, it may not. So for those of y'all who don't try to push it. Don't like try to make the reading coincide with what's going on for you. It may not be for you. You know what I'm saying? So always keep that in mind as well. And I will again, as I get my phone services up to par. I want to start doing the tarot readings on a consultation type of level. But again, I want to just get a little bit better and more acquainted with reading. That's why I'm kind of doing this live reading, kind of like breaking the ice in essence, right now. Eva Lingham, yep. Can the dark night of the soul last for years? Ooh, she said years. Well, it is possible if it take you years to realize what you need to clean up, about yourself. But the dark night of the soul is more so, that pressure to make you reach out to that higher consciousness, that connection with source, with inner self, and realize that you are source on a human experience, human that's just having to deal with these external experiences. It's like, nah, you are a source on the human experience, co-creating your external experience with other parts of source that's in human bodies as well. But again, long story short, if you don't get that, so your dark night of the soul comes through and you're not getting the spiritual, enlightenment, or say you're not getting the picture that this is for you to awaken spiritually, like you just still like, oh shit, I'm just going through a bunch of bad shit. God must hate me, this and that, and you continuously keep that mind frame for whatever reason, which it would be karmic reasons, again, and something you ask for, you like probably ask to be that, and I don't mean dumbfounded in a bad way, but you ask to be that dumbfounded about spirituality in a manner where it would take something, strong to awaken you. But again, a dark night could last years if it takes you years to realize what's going on. If you're not really getting the bigger picture, then yeah, it'll take years, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll take a long, but I never heard of it taking, years. But again, spirit, just coming through on spirit, it just said, it's possible if the person, takes that long. But again, the dark night hits so hard, like I don't know how I would be able to last that long, without you realizing the bigger picture. But it's possible because we're all uniquely different. I'm not familiar with the terminology like Gnosticism in the sense of it on a literary, like what's Gnosticism? I deal with occult, esoteric information, which I deal with, indirectly, how can I say? I mean, when I think about Gnosticism, I think about like, Rosicrucian, Plato, like these certain philosophies, stuff like that, that kind of deal with the more of the psyche aspect of spirit. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, again, like some things I have this ability to be naturally smart at things. And again, not knocking you asking that question, good question, but like I have this ability to be naturally smart at things where, it would, on from the outside looking in, you would think I would be really, really knowing every intricate aspect of all this or reading on it. It's like, because that's the thing for me, like when I know something for myself, and that's why I had to like realize that if I'm going to be on a teaching in a type of teaching type of platform, that I do need to define some of these things, even though I get the definition of it. So like seeing that I do have to define what a cult is and Gnosticism is and esoteric, because even though I get the general aspect of it, it's good to have these definitions as well. I don't deal with Paloma Gomes. And let me just see if Spirit gives me something from your question, because sometimes Spirit has some shit waiting. I woke up in some months ago. How does this feel about me? How does his feel about me? I don't get nothing from it. And again, I'm doing a broad general tarot reading, so I'm not really gonna be doing personal people's personal questions in essence. It's a general aspect of the energies we're dealing with from here to the rest of December. I mean, I would say dealing with Cassandra, the now of course, again, you just asking about it. We don't need any binaural beats or anything, because think about how much in a world of trouble our ancient ancestors would be in if you needed electronics to activate these energies, And again, as I'm saying this, it does help, but be aware that, again, because I be having to catch myself with meditation where it's like backing off of those binaural beats sometimes, because it does add a level of artificialness to your spiritual growth that that takes you away from your true power and essence. But I would say the hertz, what's the hertz? I can't think of it right now. I want to say it's like one. See, all of them come out. Let's see. It may be 174, if I'm not mistaken. It may be 174 is the hertz. That's more of like that root chakra, more of a primal type of binaural beat in essence. But I don't know any particular binaural beat that would go to the Kundalini. If you missed earlier what I spoke on, working with certain crystals and certain breathing techniques, like rapid breathing, and then you stop, and then you pull up on the muscle that when we're stopping ourselves from peeing and stuff like that, the genitalia muscle, that little muscle you pull up on that, take those quick rapid breaths, and that'll pull up on the Kundalini. Just pranic breathing in general. Like if you go look at my meditation videos, the way I speak on breathing, that stimulates your Kundalini. Meditation in general helps stimulate the Kundalini. Red jasper, serpentine, Shiva lingam, and that's just three that that like spirit had me on the go-to. There's others, but working with that more than artificial beat in essence. We existed before binaural beats, and not to say that we don't use them, but just keeping that in mind. When we dealing with evading a primordial energy, that existed before music. And I say before music because we are music. You know, in essence, music always existed. That's the universe, the one verse. You know, we are music, but again, you know, you want to make sure you deal with it in a more uh, natural vibe, in essence. But it does help though to use binaural beats in essence. Okay, hey, all right, blessings. Thanks for the love and support. I mean, John Doe 528 is good for the heart chakra, I know for a fact, and that one could be a good one as well because it's DNA activation. So you know what, the 528 hertz would be good. You know, just because it stimulates the heart chakra, stimulate DNA activation, so that's connected with the Kundalini. Oh, best. Oh, well, again, well, indirectly, that's why what I said, even though you said you meant best, a binaural beat in essence, you know, like a 528 hertz, you know. Like, I don't know of actual music lyrics from a certain artist that would stimulate your Kundalini. Not saying it's impossible. All right. And any more questions about Kundalini energy? Kundalini. Matter of fact, make sure I'm looking at all y'all stuff. Oh dang, I'm missing some stuff. So hold on, y'all. Gotta catch up. I'm moving pretty slow on the. I gotta get used to this, like reading these things and going faster with it. Make sure you have a question mark at the end of the question. I'm familiar with Nagas in the sense of understanding, you know, the Naga energy, you know, from the Hindu, and then you got like Nagus Nagas, you know, like the energy dealing with Haile Selassie, the Ethiopian, which Ethiopia is the land of Kush, and the empire stretched all the way to, you know, the Hindus Kush Valley, you know, in India and Angkor Wat. You know, so you know, the Nagas is basically like a personification of the Kundalini serpent energy. You know what I'm saying? And in essence, one of the origins of, you know, you see the word nigga, in essence, comes from that as well. Because as much as it makes us, you know, some of us, we've been subconsciously programmed to cringe when we hear the word, but you know, nigga is also it has some divinity within it as well. You know, it's how you use it. What do you recommend for someone starting out doing tarot readings? Like, what do you mean? What do I recommend for someone starting out doing tarot? Like, like you are you trying to start tarot, you know, for the first time? You know, if that's what you're asking, I would suggest, you know, you might want to start out with the Rider Waite deck. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Arthur Edward Waite and what's the name? Uh, and Pamela Smith. Matter of fact, both of them I think were from the Golden Dawn, but that tarot card set is good to use because it's kind of like the first. It's kind of like what every other set bases itself off of. So it's good to look at that blueprint first and foremost. So when you see these new design cards, you can know like, all right, you know, this card resonates with that the card from the Rider Waite deck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you get that basis. You know, like with learning anything, you want to see what the blueprint come from. You know, so again, like, in fact, when we talk about getting our knowledge in general, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to learn how to deal with tarot, of course I could learn from because say for instance, I wanted to get the Sally Ann Glassman Voodoo deck first. And I could have learned from that, but high self was like, nah, go back to the furthest, the eldest form of information dealing with this, to see what everything else mimics itself from. Just like the analogy of not dealing with the Bible all the time because you want to deal with the information that the Bible is mimicking, you know what I'm saying? So same thing with tarot card decks, you know what I'm saying? You want to go to deal with the tarot cards that everybody else in essence is mimicking, the blueprint for the rest of it. Yeah, because matter of fact, that's another thing with these cards too. I'm gonna give a straight up intuitive reading. So it's gonna be a reading that, like, I'm gonna do one that has almost nothing to do with what they say, because they got like a little thing that come with the the pack, that lets you know like simple little translations of the cards. But like, I'm gonna just do my own interpretation of the picture, in essence, and then I may also follow up with like the correspondence, to get a little logical and technical on it. Matter of fact, Dylan, if y'all never checked out my video about sympathetic magic, and also I just did a video about using the days of the week, you know, uh, but today is Thursday, and Thursday represent connecting with Jupiter. So I got that Wheel of Fortune card that resonates with Jupiter, and I got the Temperance card that resonates with Jupiter, but indirectly because it resonates with Sagittarius. Matter of fact, you got the Wheel of Fortune, and all around it you got the fixed signs. This stands for Scorpio. Instead of a scorpion, they got the eagle. Aquarius is the man, the Taurus, and the Leo. They getting their little learning on, probably learning how to be a little more, how can I say, not so fixed. Like, bro, we gotta learn how to not be so fixed in our work. Because matter of fact, and Jupiter, you can't necessarily be fixed. So, all right, dang, I was about to say, come on, reconnection. I'm back. So, and I was speaking on the Wheel of Fortune card. The Sphinx. It representing, expanding. Like once you start expanding, once these fixed signs start expanding out of that comfort zone, and again they getting that little knowledge on expanding like Jupiter adventurous and expanding. Matter of fact, also correlating, Sagittarius expanding, shooting that arrow out, you know what I'm saying? But again, with that expansion, gaining knowledge. I got a little representation of the Kundalini energy right there as well. And Temperance, got one foot in that water, dealing with that feminine energy very strongly. Also you could see this studying the water is almost like studying the way the subconscious works, in essence, learning about the subconscious waters in order to expand and grow on a higher level, and having one foot on the ground, being grounded, while one foot into the little depths of the subconscious water, almost to a certain extent, like scientification of Capricorn energy too, climbing that mountain, but with that little fin reaching back into the waters as well, triangle pointing up, dealing with that fire aspect as well, and the cups again, that feminine aspect, subconscious, studying, going back and forth, studying the ways of the water, the ways of the subconscious mind. You see that enlightenment. Be able to fly, red wings, in essence, being able to fly due to grounding in essence, which is a paradox, but, it's like a mountain. A mountain is able to grow so high because of how grounded it is, But, that's just the daily cards, Thursday. I'm going to get into the little 3-card reading. Let me check and see what little messages before I do that. And apologies for being slow on my scrolling abilities, y'all. Matter of fact, I spoke on it. T. Susan Chang, I want to say, is the name of a author that has a tarot book that's pretty good. As a matter of fact, if you go look at my video where I spoke on like having my tarot deck for the first time, you know, you'll get some insight about like working with your tarot cards. Kimmy Book, uh, who said I have my tarot cards, but I don't even know where to start. All right. AK Warrens, blessings, from the UK. Yeah. You also got cause I see the Aleister Crowley deck. You know, Aleister Crowley came out with a deck too. That's kind of considered one of the main decks. Golden Dawn is like the OTO little. I mean, you do have the what's called the Thoth deck. You know, the Thoth deck is the Aleister Crowley deck, which his deck though has the Hebrew letters and stuff as well. I started to get that one as well when I heard that. You know, and matter of fact, we're gonna get into these aspects. You know, but serpent. Yeah. Let me get into this right now. Let me just start. Matter of fact, you know, it's all right to get loose with your deck. You know, not being scared to bend the cards up. They are cards. And again, this is more so of just another way for spirit to speak to us. You know, in essence. So I'm gonna do, you know, kind of like a now aspect, you know, an energy speaking to our past and an energy speaking to our future. So let's see. Oh, so right now, you know, I would now, you know, you know, and basically, you know, again, in which I'll get into that. But so this is the middle card, you know. So the Temperance card popped back up again, and I shuffled pretty good, you know. So again, you know, pointing to that, you know, and we in the energy of Sagittarius, you know. And matter of fact, with the major arcana cards, you know, they speak into uh, more than just the daily aspects of things. So, you know, this is speaking from now and here on out. So even though again we speaking to the present and the reading is about, you know, from this moment to the end of December, you know, because it's a major arcana card, you know, it's still gonna deal expanding past, you know, the moment that I'm speaking to as far as dealing with the reading. But you know, again, working with that subconscious waters, you know, learning about that feminine energy, you know what I'm saying, and learning how to deal with our own inner subconscious, you know, and by dealing with it, you know what I'm saying, you know, see the flowers, a vibe of abundance, you know, in life, you know, the road from the waters to the sun, you know what I'm saying, connecting that masculine and feminine energy, you know. over the horizon. You know, the sun will shine, and things will, things will show themselves more to us. Again, the more we do, what I'm just getting from this card is doing the subconscious. I see this person working with the water, you know, again, being grounded, but while still diving into those deep depths, you know, and that's allowing for expansion. You know, the fire, again, what it igniting the spirit, you know what I'm saying? So working with the subconscious, also ignites that fire or that spirit. In the wings, through grounding, like the root chakra, again, that paradoxical vibe of through grounding, being strongly rooted, you will be able to fly as high, as you want to, again, like that mountain in the background, is able to grow high due to, you know, due to uh, due to the strong foundation, and also, this garden essence, this little area is not really tamed, so it's about, that again, almost like that expansion vibe of Jupiter, again, pointing to that Jupiter energy, but again, like letting nature, be itself, kind of like going with the flow of things, and not trying to tame, like how a garden, when you see a garden, that's like trying to tame nature, but this is nature being nature, in essence. So, kind of like right now, the main focus is again, working with that subconscious. Matter of fact, that full moon in Cancer definitely going, push with that vibe as well. All right. The universe. I guess I just indirectly. I guess because Thursday the reading was indirectly done with just it being the Thursday energy, but again expansion, but more so like so let's see. Because it's dealing with aspects of the past. So to the same, almost to the same as the reading before, but dealing with the past. So making sure that we are relearning. Like you see how the Taurus, the Leo, the Aquarius, and the Scorpio, again, because the Scorpio represented by this bird. They learning how to not be so fixed. And so with this card being the area of the past, like dealing with those past areas of being fixed, certain things that we were fixed on, certain things that, again, stemming from our past is stopping us from expanding right now, because we fixated on it, so in order to, really get into that expansion, we gotta learn how to get out of these fixated, vibes. Matter of fact, again, Wheel of Fortune, because Jupiter also speaks to expansion and fortune and good, good fortune in essence, or good luck in essence. But again, what I get from it on the intuitive level, and that's how I do too. So reason why, I always like repeat myself like that a lot of times, because again, I'm waiting to see if spirit is gonna hand me something else to say. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of stick with that that mess and just repeat it until until something else comes. But again, it coincides. Again, and working with the subconscious right now, is very key. And working with the subconscious in a manner, again, in order to have that expansion, on the Sagittarius level, and dealing with that Jupiter energy, we got to learn how to get out of these fixated ways. And that's what, again, because the Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio are fixed signs, so it's learning how to, get, learn how to get away from these past vibrations that we're fixed on that's still hindering us. So like right now, And so basically it's kind of speaking to the Cancer full moon indirectly, you know what I'm saying? It's like in order to expand, we gotta really go into the depths of the subconscious and work out all those little getting those nooks and crannies and work out all that energy that's still, hitting in there and that we may still be fixated on in essence, you know. And now let's see. The future, card dealing with things to come. It's the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cups, abundance. I think about, I think because, the cups in general deals with the feminine energy, water energy, a cup. I think about, I use the analogy, like they call a bra cup, for the breast, but it's multiple levels, the cup holding that water, and the number 8, that infinity sign, that infinite abundance, but it comes from, wandering out into the unknown, like being that wanderer. He got that red on, so that courage, that root chakra, having the courage to, to go into these places, where it may seem like you're lonely, like this brethren right here, Matter of fact, and again, expounding on emotions, because that's the moon. The moon kind of got this little look like, I don't know what kind of look the moon got. It's kind of like a little subtle, like I'm chilling. I'm not necessarily mad or sad, But again, the message that I just get, and also, dealing with uneasy terrain, you know what I'm saying? Like, the wealth and abundance is, in those places of uneasy terrain where, it may seem like you're by yourself in this area, and it's going to take a lot of courage, root chakra, and connection with emotions, but, definitely, again, mixture of water and earth, being grounded. You got the red shoes, being grounded in this path, Matter of fact, the staff could represent the Kundalini energy. We think about the staff of Caduceus, the little staff with the little snakes going up, Because also the Kundalini energy or that staff represents healing, Matter of fact, Ophiuchus, the sign of Ophiuchus, deals with, healing energy. Matter of fact, connected to Emotep, it deals with healing. So, could be, Kundalini, dealing with emotional healing, Again, the cups representing that water, also filling those cups up with abundance, But that's basically what I get from that. And it makes sense, because also, I see this card as speaking to surrendering to the universe as well, Because it's something I see myself going through. As a matter of fact, and as I'm speaking on this reminder that, if this resonates with you, cool. Some of you it may not resonate with, what I'm saying? Again, but this is like a general reading. And matter of fact, this is the future, and I didn't speak to that. Also, though, this is speaking to our near future too. So because it's not a major arcana card, it's a minor arcana. So this like just our near future, like right now, in essence, like our close recent future, not going into, past December. It's kind of like, this the future of now is stepping into the unknown, trusting the universe, stepping in that uneasy terrain, and dealing with that feminine energy, that earth and that water, you know, following that intuition, you know, that water speaks to intuition and being grounded in intuition, you know, realizing again that that journey, you know, it may be a lonesome one in essence, and I say like completely lonesome, but you know, but you know, it's that path that will in essence manifest that abundance, you know. So dealing with that energy, you know, you will manifest the abundance from those waters. Matter of fact, and I'm gonna just do again a little technical reading as well. Look at some of the aspects of it. Yep, definitely. Matter of fact, thank you, Straight Panther. And matter of fact, as always, too, remember if y'all wanna, you would like to donate, you know, donate to my PayPal link, and not the super chat, because the super chat basically take all the funds. But again, again, trust in the universe. I know that you know, however it happens, it happens. Just a suggestion. Yeah, and y'all, because I see some people asking for personal ones. This is me and my energy and how I feel about it. You know, I would rather, you know, or at least learn a little more on how to like cut off energies as far as like, you know, do a reading for one person, and then I got kind of like let the cards know, all right, working with somebody else right now, you know, like I gotta be able to do all that on the fly in the video, you know, like I gotta again, this is my first time dealing with it, you know, on this level. And matter of fact, you know, let me know on some feedback level, like, you know, of how much this little tarot reading resonated for you, you know, in the future. Or, you know, now it may have spoken to you in this moment, but, you know, just keep me posted. But, yeah. Yes, I do have a PayPal. Matter of fact, my PayPal link is it's in the descriptions of all my videos. I have the PayPal link. Again, Evelyn, I don't want to. I'm crawling before I walk. You know, I just picked up this tarot deck. You know, what, like a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? And been studying very. You know, been studying a lot on them. But again, just something tells me, you know, my energy is not ready to do this right now in this moment. Let's just say that. But I will start doing, you know, again, according to this feedback from this video on how the vibes, how people felt about this reading and this vibe, you know, there'll be future ones, you know, where I'll be able to sit, you know, and read through people, you know, do personal ones in essence. But, you know, as a matter of fact, just to speak on the little aspects of it. Matter of fact, I want to see what else, like so the Eight of Cups. A man of dejected aspect is deserting the cups of his felicity, enterprise, undertaking, or previous concern. Divinatory meaning. The card speaks for itself on the surface, but other readings are entirely antithetical. I don't know what that means. Giving joy, mildness, timidity, honor, and modesty. So dealing with honor, modesty, giving joy. But again, what's crazy, you know, or not crazy, you know, in this book they say that, you know, because usually I have like, they'll say this card kind of means this or that. You know, they said straight up this card speaks for itself on the surface in essence. Like, so it was kind of meant for me to kind of just straight up read that card, you know, off of what I'm, you know, just looking at in essence, and not trying to, you know, just go with what they say, you know, like actually read it. rings I got on. This is a Tiger's Eye, my Freemason ring. Eye. Oh, Tiger's Eye on this finger. My black obsidian, rainbow obsidian. My flower of life. Oh, shout out to my brethren Brad and my sister Tasha for giving me this fire bracelet too. Got the citrine satellite. And also, shout out he made this one too. A little small mala, which is a good idea. I like matter of fact, I spoke to malas, did a video about malas and how to work with those as well. Or a new way, in essence, to work with them. Yeah, Goddess Eve and everybody else who asks for personal readings, I will, I will eventually start, doing live readings. Again, but I just got to get more comfortable with it. But that's basically it. Any more questions, before I go, especially dealing with like Kundalini energy, or like kind of like dealing with the energies of right now, or Kundalini energy, that I could deal with. Let me know. I take all this water around me. It's raining out here. Yeah, matter of fact, again, like with reading these cards, it's a lot of intuition more than actually, like going off of the meaning of what they say the cards mean. I mean, indirectly though, they're gonna give off a certain meaning because they do correlate and correspond with certain astrological aspects, chakras, colors, like all kind of different vibes to it. I'm telling me to do one more card before I go. But on a certain type of vibe. Alright. A card that's gonna represent the energy that's starting off our year. So before I go, I'm gonna deal with this card that speaks to how January 2019, which it should be. We're talking about the new year, is April. April 1st. April Fools. This is really New Year's Day. April Fools. Y'all celebrate New Year's on January. Oh man, the universe is so beautiful. We are so beautiful. I am so beautiful. All right. This little shuffle going. So the beginning, we're just gonna say, the beginning of the year, starting the new year. Whether well, no, I gotta be specific. So we're gonna give it the January. We're gonna say how January, 2019, according to the Gregorian calendar, Let's see. All right. But yeah, this was really talking. So the Justice card, and I spoke about this card before, correlating with the Ogun energy, but also, matter of fact, when I think about this card, I think about, Bloodstone. I think about red jasper, and green chalcedony. Matter of fact, ruby and zoisite. And I think about Ogun. I think about that that strong, that unconditional love balance, you know. And matter of fact, the videos I've been doing recently talking about, you know, showing how the Star of David, you know, deals with the balance, you know, of the masculine and feminine energies. Again, you know, also the heart chakra, you know, because that's what it's important about, you know, us moving into that heart space, you know, really really opening up that heart chakra, really stepping into that unconditional love. And again, this justice card mean, you know, this weighing of the scales, meaning having discernment, you know, because again, you know, the red cloak, that root chakra strong, you know, and that courage and fearlessness, and you know, that green being cloaked over, dealing with the heart chakra, you know, and having that energy of the heart chakra on top of that strong grounding energy, you know, because say for instance, we're dealing with you know, that's why a healthy heart chakra speaks to it speaks to discernment, you know, and it speaks to what some books in the little book I gotta say discrimination, you know, but in not discriminating in a bad way, but again having that discernment, like not just looking at just because somebody coming around me smiling. It's like no, I have to have discernment with that energy, you know, but it's having that courage, you know, to really stand in our power and to, you know, because unconditional love, that Christ consciousness, when I think about the true Christ consciousness, you think about, you know, the story of Jesus flipping over shit in the church and you know, in the little gambling spot, you know, it's that energy, it's that Ogun energy, you know what I'm saying? And having the, you know, the word, you know, the mind, you know, so being, you know, structured in that chakra balance, you know, having that realm of the mind and the words, you know, held up, you know, in essence, how would I say it? It's kind of like in a, because he has this balance in the hand, or more so, let's see, left hand being so I would see this as being more intuitive with your words, you know, because he has the sword in the left hand, and the sword is the words, you know, anagram for words is sword, you know, because the sword or the words cut, you know what I'm saying, how to do word spells, you know, it's like having like like being in a sword fight, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that's why a lot of sword fights on movies and stuff like that, when the two people dueling, they always talking to each other. You gotta do this, you know what I'm saying? Or they talking about some shit, you know, because that's also a personification of, you know, a battle of words, you know. But because he holding the sword with the left hand, you know, that deals with, you know, using the words in a more intuitive manner, you know, and on the masculine side, being, you know, making sure you're balanced in your logic, you know, in between the pillars, you know. Matter of fact, so kind of personification, I would say like being in that feminine energy, you know, like that yoni, you know, the vaginal walls in essence, being in that corridor of the yoni, you know, that primordial mother energy, and also that Venus energy as well, you know. And again, moving into 2009, what we're gonna be doing, you know, as light beings, what we doing on this plane of existence, you know, in essence, you know, we bringing justice, you know, but you gotta move through that heart chakra in order to have that true Christ consciousness, you know, level of discernment and justice, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the energy that we strongly dealing with, you know, moving into you know, quote unquote, again, according to the Gregorian calendar, 2019 and further, you know, it's about that working on that heart chakra, you know, that Venus energy, you know, very strongly. Matter of fact, and also, let's see. And matter of fact, y'all, let's see. I read, which, I mean, because I could say, let's see, right? because I want to say, like, to a certain extent, I could say I misread this. So in the midst of this doing this, so let's just say this, because I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, right side, again. So let's say it like this. Sometimes these pictures could be completely detailed to the point of, say, for instance, with the right side of his body. The right side of our body resonates with our left brain. You know what I'm saying? And the left side of our body resonates with our right brain. But say, for instance, in this picture, it may not be going that deep in that essence and just saying, hey, the right side is dealing with the right brain and the left side is dealing with the left brain. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably why I read it so simple like that, because that may be the essence of what they are displaying, in their pictures. Like in their pictures, they may not be going in depth of saying like the right side is connected to the left, hemisphere, but more so the right side. Like, so if the picture's showing them dealing with the right side, and it's dealing with the, the right brain, instead of, like the way it does in us, where, the right side deals with left brain, left side deals. So, even though, again, like left, you would think it deals with the logic, but now, the left side of our body deals with the right brain or the feminine side. But I would still go with vibe of saying, again, being more intuitive with the words, with the form of expression and the thoughts, because again, the words, the air, this also represents the air element, and air represents thoughts, communication, so, raising up in our telepathy, matter of fact, through having that open heart chakra, you know what I'm saying? Because again, the more we are balanced in our chakras in general, the more we do open up our extrasensory perception. So, but the card moving forward, and so that's what I was gonna say. So, with the little right foot forward, I would just still attune it again to that right brain as well. So it's having that intuitive foot forward. You know, tapping into the intuition a little more, and again, and delivering that justice from that inner guidance to that heart, having that strong, having the heart chakra balanced and open, bringing justice to this realm. Again, I think about that bloodstone. My hands finally getting cold. Blessings, seats, yayo. I appreciate that. SRJP the Great, blessings. Chocolate dip, what's up? Rue LA, blessings. Tyler 96, what's up? Speak to the Hara and hidden chakras. What's Dara? I never heard of Dara. If you're saying that's a certain chakra or something like that, I never heard of it. All right, and I'm gonna answer a few little questions that I see, and I'm out, y'all. I mean, honestly, Justice Singh, all right, good question in the sense of, it's really, I mean, the strongest connection to the Kundalini, if one chakra had a connection to it, would be the root chakra. But again, that's why all these stories deals with, like, our Sefer Yemenyah energy, deals with the 7 seas, and also deals with the snake energy, but again, it's like that serpent passing through all 7 chakras. So it's like, it's basically being balanced in all chakras in essence. Now, in fact, shungite is a great crystal to balance and align all the chakras, and blue kyanite. Matter of fact, blue kyanite and shungite in combination would be great to keep the chakras constantly in alignment. But that's, that's more so what it's about in order for these energies to rise. That's another thing too, which I spoke about. Like when you do your pranic breathing, like you'll start to feel like if new to activating the Kundalini, you'll feel a little rise in your spine, and that little energy will stop somewhere. I use the analogy of like, at the fair, they got that little game where the person use their hammer and hit that little, that little thing on the ground and make that little thing rise up. And depending on how strong you hit, how high the thing goes, you hit it hard enough, it go all the way up to the bell, all the way to the top. But, at the beginning stages when we're, doing these breathing techniques and stuff like that, it may stop, say for instance, in the solar plexus. All right, since you asked about the solar plexus, say for instance, the energy feel like it stops in our stomach area, And when I say the stomach area, but like, in the base of the spine, but like where the stomach is at, like in that area, then that would mean that it's a blockage in the solar plexus that's stopping the Kundalini from fully rising. If you feel like the Kundalini, when you're doing your Kundalini breath, it get all the way up to your neck, but then stop before it get to your medulla area, then, it's a throat chakra blockage that's stopping the Kundalini from raising, So, removing blockages in certain chakras, but, the Kundalini, again, raises through all chakras, but, it's the root chakra that really is where we deal with that energy. That's why, again, serpentine, red jasper, and Shiva Lingam, kind of deal with that, or more so red jasper and Shiva Lingam, with that root chakra, sexual area, you know what I'm saying? Rising that snake out of the wilderness, you think about Moses, the story of Moses, raising the snakes out of the wilderness. The wilderness is that, the root chakra, the manger that Jesus was born, the root chakra, you know what I'm saying? Like, that the ass or the donkey that Set was represented as, the root chakra, the Saturn, Lucifer, the underworld, or color red, associated with the devil and all that. That's the root chakra. Santa Claus, climbing down the chimney, his clothes getting full of soot. I just talked about this in the video, you know what I'm saying? Full of the soot, or Set, because soot, Set is like soot. And Set, like when we set down, or sitting, our ass is sitting, you know what I'm saying? Our root chakra, So it's all pointing to that energy, So if it had to be a chakra, I'd say root. I'm having an issue when I'm in the middle of meditation. Sometimes I get very anxious. That, in a lot of cases, from my experience, that'd be my ego not being in the now, of my meditation. Like when I first started meditating, I would get anxious because my mind was trying to wonder about the rest of my day. Like my mind, like I'm sitting there meditating, and my mind trying to think about what I'm gonna do after I get up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it goes to show you the insanity of how much we just be so much in our mind that even in the midst of meditating, again, that's why most people have troubles with meditation. It's not troubles with it. It's just simply fucking too much mind noise, and us being trained to be in our egoic mind so much is just difficult. And your mind is gonna find any excuse. That's another thing too. Like your egoic mind gonna find any excuse for you not to sit down and meditate, you know what I'm saying? So it's realizing that too, like any little thing that might pop up, maybe again, like say for instance, when I would wake up to do my meditations, and I would end up, say for instance, let me do this right quick. And then and a couple of times I watched it happen to where it's basically like my lower nature or egoic mind was trying to get me to just start my day off like, so do this little task, and then I'm gonna go do my meditation. Wait, hold on, let me do this right quick. And then next thing you know, I done did all kind of shit, and 30 minutes to an hour done passed, and I ain't done meditated because, again, my ego mind slipped me out of sitting down and just doing the shit. So sometimes again that anxiety just comes from, wanting to get up. So just really being present in your breathing. Like just really like, get more deep in your breathing. Like most air you could bring in and the most air you could push out. You know, like a strong deep breathing, because that also helps with heart coherence. That's why, you know, it's you know, deep breathing kind of, you know, prevents anger in essence, or like, you know, getting in that rage like anger. You know, it calms, because, you know, when we deep breathe, you know, the heart gets into a place, you know, where it you know, it starts to beat in a more coherent type of level. So, you know, with that coherence of that heartbeat, it's almost impossible for us to get into, you know, a rage, or, you know, to be uneasy, because, you know, we done ease the vibration of the heart in essence. A pyramid in general is good for creating negative ions. You know, I got a video on negative ions that go deeper, but, you know, negative ions basically just by the air passing through and by that pyramid shape, you know, it creates negative ions. Basically, a negative ion is an atom with an extra electron, and with that extra electron, it actually you know, that negative ion, which it does a positive thing for us, but it you know, when we interface with that negative ion, it causes a serotonin release in our body. You know, serotonin is the chemical release when we're like happy and feeling good and joyous. Matter of fact, St. John's wort is a good herb to deal with serotonin release. Matter of fact, I remember when I was going through the dark night of my soul, and you know, dealing with depression from my grandmother and my pops transitioning, you know, I started using St. John's wort, you know, along with the vibration of realizing that my family members hadn't really transitioned and started to get into the spiritual knowledge and understanding, you know, oh wait, they ain't really went nowhere, you know, and to not hold on to them, because I could keep them from, you know, keep them from their soulful journey if I try to hold on to their energy too much. But yeah, the pyramid creates negative ions, and black obsidian, you know, is good for protection from negativity, also known as the prophecy stone, you know, because it administers truth. A good crystal for Sagittarius in combination with lapis lazuli, when you want to talk about like speaking on a prophetic level, being upfront with your truth, you know, like channeling higher self. You know, that obsidian and lapis lazuli would be great, you know, for that. Yeah, it's possible lucid block for sacred geometry to appear randomly. Uh, that's something. Yes. All right, blessings. I am vintage native. Shout out from Tennessee. All right, Sam Q. Blessings. Kirsten Mullenix. Thank you. Blessings. I am vintage native. Nah, I'm not familiar with the pyramid meditation. Maybe a form of meditation that I do and just don't know the name of it, because I'm balanced. I realize how much inner gnosis that runs through me was meant to bring a lot of new information. So I balance myself with looking at you know, some old meditation stuff like that. But I realize too, I'm gonna be activating a lot of newer, you know, energies and stuff like that. And it's just like with anything, like if I pay attention to too much of the ways of somebody else doing things, then I won't have that open area for the new stuff to come down through me, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of balance myself out with you know, learning certain things on that level. Yeah, Kimmy Boot with the meditation, yeah, just the breathing and really just being in that moment. Because again, like it's all the mind noise that'll make you like anxious, and because you anxious about worrying about your day and stuff like that. Like now is the vibrate it's not just a saying, you know, it's not just like, oh yeah, now it's the vibrate. Now let me go like now it's the vibrate. Now let me go about thinking about my past and my future all the time. Like no, like now it's always the vibrate all the time. Like at all times. It's never about anything except for right now. Like we right now, like our bill, like paying a bill don't exist right now for me, or dealing with somebody else or something. Like I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with right now. Now is the vibrate. What I got in front of me is my video, you know, my tablet, and I'm doing this video. That's my now. You know what I'm saying? And nothing else. Same thing with meditation. So in most cases, again, what be throwing us off is something that has nothing to do with the now moment of you meditating. What are my thoughts on somebody trying to find their purpose? And y'all, I'm about to soon be out. So, and again, with the donations, it would be greatly appreciated if you do feel the urge to donate to my PayPal link. It's under the description of most of all my videos, and it'll be under the description of this video. And all love, because just by y'all participating, you know, it helps the funds. You know, YouTube uh, pays us a less something from I don't know what it's based off of, like its viewership and minutes watched and all that type of stuff. So again, you're supporting just by, you know, viewership as well, you know, and I'm grateful for that. But thoughts on someone trying to find their purpose. I always tell a person, you know, your purpose is going to be the things that you're great at, that it seems like, you know, like it just comes simple to you. You know, like when I think about, say for instance, doing videos, you know, some people like, bro, how you could just sit down and be so upfront on a video, like, bro, that would take me. And I'm like, what, just talking to this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, well, to other people it seemed like it's so amazing, but to you it just seemed like shit. I always could do this. I always did it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that thing that comes natural to you, and it comes natural outside of people teaching you it too. So another aspect of like dealing with my soul purpose from on my own experience, being able to see like my sense of humor like on a very highly comedic level. You know, it's like I realized that again, that was something natural. Like my parents didn't, like when I was born, my parents sat me down and said, all right, Kari, we're going to teach you how to be a comedian. We're going to teach you how to tell jokes. You know, we're going to teach you how to be a class clown and make all your classmates laugh. You know, my parents, you know, obviously my parents, you know, because the parents are the opposite in essence, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not trying to have you be in the class clown or this and that, but, you know, I realized, you know, within that energy that it just came natural to me to make people laugh and to make, you know, to mimic little noises and mimic people. As another thing, like I could do imitations pretty good or imitate people, you know, or noises and stuff like that. It come natural. I didn't have to have no voice coach teach me how to mimic little noises and stuff like that. It should just come natural to me, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's those things that, you know, comes natural to you in your uniqueness, you know what I'm saying? And it's and on a soul purpose level, it'll be something that's like very, very, you know, unique towards you in essence. You know, not to say that nobody else is gonna be good at whatever it is too, but again, it's just something that, you know, you just uniquely lined up with and always lined up. Well, again, it was always effortless. It was always effortless for you. People seem like, damn, like you did something so amazing, like, bro, I could never do, you know. So it's like it's something that may come off as amazing to some other people. It's like simple, like all I did was just freestyle this song, you know. Like it's nothing for me to write a 16, you know, and do this, you know, to do music or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. So you know, I would say, you know, that would be pointing towards your purpose in essence. Those things that you're just naturally great at, and again, always were naturally great at without nobody teaching it to you. Those things you were great at with nobody teaching it to you, like, so nobody taught you how to do this, you know what I'm saying? Like you just came out the womb knowing karate or being good at doing karate, you know what I'm saying? You might be some type of martial arts teacher, you know, amongst many other things, you know, again, because we necessarily don't just have like one particular area we'll be working in that sense, you know, it's like, it's a multitude of things, it's expansive, you know, type of vibration. But, you know, bonus organics blessings. Oh, Kimmy Book, I do go live on my IG, which was funny. This video was like in between. I'm like, should I go live on Instagram? I'm like, nah, I need to be more live on my YouTube channel because I felt like a small level of fear popping up in the area of doing videos, like, you know, randomly. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, well, gotta face this fear, you know. And it hasn't raised up strongly because obviously I continuously do my videos, but I could just feel it subtly, like, you know, like, and it'll come in the vibe of like the ego smart. It'll make it seem like I'm being lazy. I like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, but it's more so of like fearing, like not, you know, like fearing just randomly going with the flow for a video. It's like, nah, since you scary, live video. You know, again, I just did a video speaking about, you know, getting rid of fears. I got older videos speaking of getting rid of fears as well, but the recent one I did kind of helped too. But also, not that I know of any books that talk on the spiritual powers of herbs. Not nothing in particular, you know, that I know of. You know, like, matter of fact, this book speaks to some, but this book is like a broad book. You know, if you're really looking for something to key in on it, you know, you would want something that be just on herbs and, you know, the energies. Oh, I'm about to say, yeah, I'm soon about to go too, since this thing freezing up. All right. Yeah, I'm about to go. It's been too reconnected. But peace and blessings, man. Thank y'all for the love and support. Yeah. Yep, and remember, man, it's full moon. Matter of fact, yep, Kim and Boop, appreciate that donation ahead of time. Uh, you got a lot. I ain't gonna say work to do, Carisha, but you know, there's no such. And I guess I gotta finish this right quick with that because I gotta speak to that. There's no such thing as it being bad. Again, you must be listening to external people. Or you listen to people who are ignorant to what tarot is, because obviously, you know, they wouldn't say it's bad if they knew what it was. So a lesson in that, you know, Mr. or Miss Carisha, you know, don't listen to external. The part of knowledge is learning for yourself, you know. Now, I mean, if a tarot reading has did something harmful to you already, then of course I could understand why you would ask if it's bad. But if a tarot card hasn't harmed you in any kind of way, form, or fashion, why would you think it's bad? Unless you were going off of the mind frame of others, you know. That's you know, and that's a reading within itself, you know, without tarot cards. So again, you might want to not pay attention too much to what others think about certain things, you know, and find out for yourself. But yeah, but nothing's again. There's no good or bad. So my crystals are good. No, that again, there's no good or bad. Like somebody can say crystals are good, but no, I could take this crystal and put a spell on somebody that could be harmful. You know what I'm saying? But and two, that still don't make the crystals bad either. You know what I'm saying? Again, all these things are neutral till you take them and do something with it. Oh, money is bad. You mean this money I use to buy these crystals to hand out free necklaces and bracelets? They talk about the money I use to create this certain foundation to help people learn about subconscious program. You know what I'm saying? Like again, money could be used for a beneficial thing or unbeneficial thing. It's no good or bad. You know, same thing with crystals. Same thing with anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't uh, necessarily have it's just a positive or negative aspect to it, you know. But it's a learning situation regardless, you know. But it's no good or bad from that human moralistic way of looking at things. Like that's good. Like smoking weed is bad, or smoking weed is good. It's neither. It's it's what it is for that person. You know, it could be beneficial for some, it could be unbeneficial for some. You know, but that's basically the gist of that. But that's that's basically it, y'all. And appreciate the love, support, everything. Matter of fact, check out the latest videos I did. You know, there's some real, and somebody even told me, you know, like lately how much my videos have been synchronized with, you know, what they're going through. So, you know, definitely you might want to have the latest videos. Only if you're feeling the vibe too, of course. But that's basically it, y'all. I'm outie. And also, I'm feeling great. How about yourself? I'm feeling fantastically well. But again, appreciate the love and support. You know, if you enjoy the information, don't forget to hit the like button. Uh, you know, any and all donations are greatly appreciated. You know, just send a donation to my PayPal link. Ooh, as the ancestor come in my left ear. Ooh. Also making sure you know, check if you're on Instagram. My Instagram page is Universal Frequencies. You know, I'm constantly posting like cool little memes and little information on my Instagram, you know, as well. And also I do live videos on my Instagram and starting to put videos on my IGTV as well. But you know, that's basically it. You know, and dealing with this channel, don't forget again to like and also subscribe if you're a subscriber, you know, first time family member. You know, welcome. Matter of fact, blessings to the domestic family, blessings to the international family. You know, again, the love and support is greatly appreciated. Uh, that's basically it, y'all. Yep. Until next time. Peace. Peace. Happy now. And now is the vibrate. Right now. Not too far in the future. Like we could peek into the future to see what we gotta do right now, but we're not going too far in the future. And we're not going too far in the past. You know, I could reference the past when it's relevant to my now. But you know, we're not going too far in the past. Right now, you know, where we spiritually liberate ourselves. Peace, peace, y'all. Appreciate the love and support.